So, hello again. We are back again with today's newspaper. Today is 6th of January, and I am here again with the Indian Express and the Hindu, trying to improve my communication skill and the fluency, the way I speak. So, the first article today, I will go with India's cut Russian oil. Senator Trump says Modi knew I was not happy. Well, this article mostly covered about US envoy Sergio Gier takes charge in India, and he just mentioned that. Trump said Modi news I was not happy with that we are buying Russian oil. So to please him and United States of America, Modi started cutting Russian oil in around July and August of last year 2025. So he mentioned that Indian, and he also mentioned that Indian ambassadors Vivek Oberoi, and I don't know his name, I didn't know. He told that he told him that please pass this message to respected President Donald Trump that we have started declining our Russian purchase of Russian oil and uh, started new increasing the purchasing quantity of American oil. So, but it is very concerning that how they are making this type of statement that to please Donald Trump. So it's very concerning, and we should look into it. The Ministry of External Affairs should look on it. But well, the fact is true, and the Russian oil purchase have been dropped by 25% around October of 2022 to April of 2025. The purchase was reduced to 25%, while on the other hand, American energy started quantity got increased to merely around 60%, which is a very huge increase. And also the United States trade representative Jamika Grieger told India that India is a very tough nut to crack. Well, we are near a trade deal that going to be signed very soon, and as soon as the US envoy Sergio due going to come in India, and this news is about shared through the Indian Express. And when let's hope he bring a happy news to us. As the USTR, United States Trade Representative mentioned that India was a tough nut to crack because we were not going to negotiate with agriculture products as America's not they were pushing for the reduction in the agriculture sector, but as we know our most population depend on it, and by allowing American agriculture products in India will be a huge disaster for our farmers. So this is all about this article. For next, German Chancellor Murray visit on German Chancellor is going to be in his German Chancellor Merz going to come India for his first visit after taking on the office, and he will talk about in last 25 years what the relation between Germany and India was, what how the trade deals are going on, and this and that. It's not a topic. Well, there's a fire going on the UNGC site in Andhra. Well, right now the situation is still worsened, but they have told local authorities and other emergency authorities to evacuate two villages surrounding the site. And also they mentioned that the emergency representative they are trying to fight the and trying to fight the fire. By chance, if they fail to do this, they will try to cut off the well, and they are also taking help from international agencies. Beyond Maduro, why Delhi has a new window opportunity? Well, at last yesterday we just mentioned that many of nation did not condemn the United States of America thoroughly. Well, they did say that there should be a discussion with peace rather than using weapons or attacking on a nation. But another nation did not condemn America truly because we know India did not choose any side these days. Next. Well, all about the Indian Express. There were some good articles, but I did not try to read them. Well, I thought these articles will be enough for today, and I did not try to study the and to make new Mandela law, the inflation. Well, in this article I read this article by Madan Savniavis, where he told that inflation in India is very low, around 1 to 2%, and it's not a very good thing. Well, most of us think having low inflation is a good thing. Well, yeah, for us working middle class, it's a good thing, but also those who are producing agriculture products, it's a very bad for thing with the prices not increasing or reducing. They are not getting enough profits, so the farmers, and even from this year the kharif crops production wise was very good. Still, if they are not getting enough money, it will be a harm for it. So the article was about this and was on relevance to this. And no, I'm not articulating the topic very well, but let's move on to the Hindu. Uh, on the Hindu newspaper, campus cut is the same like the article we discussed in the Indian Express. Well, my laptop is hanging. It's not recording the. Well, what I have thought that what I am doing from the past 3 or 4 days that I'm discussing a article of any specific newspaper very thoroughly, and it's that article that I liked on that day or particular newspaper. So the today the article I liked really was the what remote sensing reveals about plants, forests, and minerals from space. So remote sensing allows is a technology that allows engineers and scientists to map land, forest, water, and water bodies and mineral without physically going through and touching anything by detecting spectral signals and invisible light. Well, let's just start. You are in a desert and you are just going through piles of sands and miles of sand, and you got tired. What you will do? You will started digging through a shovel, or on the first time you will start digging, you will not find anything. Rather, the second method, you will fly a drone with a specific time of camera that can detect metals or coins that are buried in it. Yep, that's what called remote sensing. As you know, our eyes only can see visible light, but we all know sun produces many types of electromagnetic lights, such as infrared and infrared reflection, infrared or ultraviolet lights, and and on everything on Earth, including land, water, soil, reflect those electromagnetic lights in specific wave waves or signatures. And by studying those light, we can detect what type of minerals, what type of trees, what type of plants are there. And this study is called remote sensing. So, what do different materials look like? So, what do different materials look like? As I mentioned, the electromagnetic lights when reflect to these surface these things from any to water, land, rocks, soil, trees, and plants. Each have their own composition and they reflect a specific type of their own specific type of waves. So we study these, and by doing this, so how do satellite map waters? Well, it's called optical indexing using using the reflected sunlight and synthetic aperture reading use radio pipes. How do satellite map subsurface features? Well, how they it's called the we take the special camera as hyperspectral sensor. Just say for a normal satellite might look at a forest and say this is green, it's a tree. A hy- hyperspectral sensor could look at the same forest and say that this is a banyan tree and it lacks nitrogen and this phosphorus in the soils. And by looking at the how it finds oil and gas, well, oil and gas are trapped deep in the soil, and they you know they are built in very they are trapped by a thousand times or million times of pressure on it, and these oil and started leaking. This leaking is called micro seepage. So two satellites through a remote sensing study those micro seepage around the areas situated in the plants, how it is affecting the plants. This plants near it started changing their colors, how the soil is around those micro seepages leakage, because it's also started changing its color and texture, and by changing the color and texture the lights is going to reflect will be changed. So those cameras study these lights, how do satellite track groundwater. When this was the like about this was the topic I liked really in this article. Well, what NASA did in 2007 to 2012, they launched two satellites in space simultaneously. They were on this sequence at a particular distance. What we know that on whole Earth, we know that they are on specific time places. Gravity force, that the force of attraction we are pulled towards Earth is not same at every place. We take an average around 9.8 g, but in some place it will be 10, in some place it will be around 9.7. And when water aperture aperture is let me read it again. Water aperture underground aquifer. Sorry, it was the underground aquifer, and underground aquifer means where the large amount of underground water is storing. So what will and so the gravitational force will be much higher and at above underground aquifer rather than the drag logs. So what NASA did, they launched two satellites in the sequence when in the same in a specific distance. When the lead satellite was above underground aquifer, it started getting pulling towards Earth due to the higher gravitational force. So the change in direction and distance through which we they started getting calculating the amount of underground water are present. So it's all about this. The second article was what the Shanti Bill change. Well, I did not read it, but as we all know, the Shanti Bill Act and the government have changed the law that now private sectors can make nuclear power plants and nuclear reactors in India. Well, if what I recall, I have not read anything about Shanti Bill. That no, what I have heard and anywhere just gone through or have read that Indian government allowing the private sector to build small reactors of around 25 gigawatts or 5 gigawatts, and they have allowed that they have passed, and the bill has passed in the parliament now, where private sector can make and bid or for nuclear units, or they're going to be operated by private sector. Well, this is all about today. I did little good, not good, but I think there is improvement in it. But what I know is I lack in vocab words. Well, I have vocab words, but I'm not using them. Well, will start going through my vocab collection, which is this. Sorry, just this. We'll learn again, and we'll started using what is the word it is articulate. It is one of the words that I wrote in this key. So if I learn them and start using them, I will be speaking very confidently and professionally. And but that's all. Let's hope I did not achieve my today's target. I think, but I will study tomorrow because a day after, a day after tomorrow is tomorrow. A day after tomorrow will be my NTEM practical of Power BI. I will study for it. That's all. Thank you. Yeah.